Imagine this, the clock strikes 3:03 a.m., a time often whispered about. A time some believe is a gateway. You're nestled in your bed, trying to drift off to sleep, when suddenly a sound pierces the silence. A knock, not a gentle tap, but a firm, deliberate knock that sends shivers down your spine. Would you dare to check the door? Would curiosity outweigh the creeping dread that begins to coil in your stomach? Or would you bury yourself under the covers, hoping it's just your imagination playing tricks on you in the dead of night? She lived alone, in a house that seemed to breathe with secrets, every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of leaves outside the window, amplified in the stillness of the night. No friends to call, no neighbors close enough to hear a scream, just the vast, empty darkness surrounding her, pressing in like a suffocating blanket. Just her heartbeat, a frantic drum against her ribs, the only sound confirming she wasn't entirely alone in the universe, and the relentless rain tapping on the glass, each drop a tiny hammer against her sanity. A constant reminder of the storm raging both outside and within. But every night without fail, at precisely 3:03 a.m., 3 knocks echoed through the house. A chilling ritual that chipped away at her resolve. Knock, knock, knock. A sinister symphony played out in the heart of the night. At first, she desperately tried to rationalize it, blamed it on her overactive imagination, fueled by late-night horror stories and too much caffeine. Then, she blamed the house itself, an old, settling structure, groaning under the weight of years and secrets. Perhaps it was just the wind or the pipes or some other mundane explanation, but last night, the fear became unbearable. The relentless knocking had burrowed its way into her soul, and she knew she couldn't ignore it any longer. Driven by a mixture of terror and morbid curiosity, she crept down the hallway, each step a monumental effort against the weight of her fear. With each step she took, the lights flickered erratically, casting dancing shadows that seemed to mock her growing unease. The electricity pulsed with an unnatural rhythm. The air grew thick, heavy as fog, clinging to her skin like a damp shroud. Felt as though she was wading through a nightmare. She leaned in, breath shallow and ragged, her heart pounding so hard she could feel it in her throat. The scent of dust and decay filled her nostrils. Eye pressed against the cold, unforgiving metal of the keyhole, and saw nothing. Just an abyss of impenetrable darkness, a void that seemed to swallow the light itself, just red, a faint, unsettling crimson glow emanating from the depths of the darkness, glowing, alive, pulsating with an unholy energy that sent a jolt of pure terror through her veins. She stumbled back, a strangled cry escaping her lips, and frantically grabbed her laptop, her fingers fumbling with the power button. Desperate for answers, she Googled, "Seeing red through a keyhole?" Her hands shaking so violently it was hard to type. One answer, buried deep within a forum dedicated to the paranormal. Spirits see through the eyes of the living. They use our vision to peer into our world. If you see red, they're not just watching, they're looking back, and they know you can see them. Tonight the knocking is louder, more insistent, as if whatever is on the other side is growing impatient. She walks toward the door, her legs heavy, her hands trembling uncontrollably. Each step is a surrender to the unknown. Eye to keyhole, a final, desperate act of defiance, or perhaps a fatal invitation, blackout. The house plunges into absolute darkness, the silence broken only by her ragged breathing. Now the knocking has stopped. An even more terrifying silence descends, a silence pregnant with anticipation, because she's not alone anymore. The entity that was once outside has found its way in. She's not the one peering through the keyhole anymore. She's the one the door. Would you dare to look through the keyhole now, knowing what awaits you on the other side? Comment below and let us know if you'd risk it. And more importantly, what do you think you would see?